Welcome everybody. This is Mount Monarch, and I've got a wonderful guest here, Gaylene, who is a nutritionist. Would you like to? And we actually met at one of our raw food retreats.
Right.
Yeah. And would you like to share about yourself, like how you're a nutritionist and what you do and things like that?
Well, I am a nutritionist. I do have a website, wisdomwellness.com, and I do consults, and I also teach homeopathic classes. So pretty much that sums it up. I'm very passionate about health and helping other people get healthy. I feel like that's my role in life. So I love your products too.
Awesome, awesome. You actually had a thyroid issue called hashimotos.
Correct.
And you went on medication and it didn't really work for you. And you used our Ayurvedic herb Guggul, Guggul. I pronounced that right?
Yeah.
And it actually balanced your thyroid levels out. Is that correct?
Yes. So what happened is, just to kind of sum up what had happened and why this happened to me, I actually had mercury poisoning when I had filling removed.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, of course, I didn't know it until it was too late. After about 70 days, the mercury doesn't stay in your blood anymore. It kind of hides in your organs. So by that point, it wasn't like I could actually detox it, effectively under normal mechanisms. So I went ahead and the doctor told me I needed to go on medication. I actually tried it for 3 years, which, most people say once you've gone on medication, you can never get off.
Yeah.
So, I felt okay, but it wasn't great. And I just felt like it wasn't meant for me to be on medication for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for other methods to change things. And, my TSH, they usually use the TSH as the main marker for everything, which is kind of a misnomer because the TSH is actually produced by the pituitary.
Yeah.
So anyway, they didn't actually do T3, T4, reverse T3 tests on me the first time. So when I went off the medication, I said, of course I wasn't feeling very good, and I was trying some other products before I found the Guggul. And so to sum it up fairly quickly, I ended up using a few herbs that kind of kept me feeling better, but I noticed you're supposed to take your temperature in the morning before you get out of bed to know, because you can't take a blood test on a regular basis, every 2 weeks or something to find out what it is. So I was taking my temperature in the morning and it was always below 90. It was 97, 95 to 97, and it's supposed to be no less than 97.8.
Okay.
I was taking things that kind of helped me to sleep, but I still wasn't feeling normal. And so I finally made an appointment with a physician's assistant who was more holistic. And she was actually going to be quite a drive for me, like an hour and a half to get there. And about 5 days before, I had been reading about the Guggul. And I thought, well, this looks like something I should try. So I had gone ahead and ordered it, and I started taking it about 5 days before my appointment with the physician's assistant. And I had noticed even the second day that my temperature had changed because it was pretty low consistently.
Yeah.
So it steadily was moving up. And actually, in 5 days, by the time I had my appointment, the fifth day, my temperature was 97.9.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, that's great. So I went in and, of course, she did the typical test. And because she knows that it's not just the TSH, it's all the other ones, she had me tested for the T3, reverse T3 and T4. And so, of course, you don't get those tests right away, but she says, well, we'll make an appointment. You can come back and we can review your results. So I came back and she didn't say anything. She didn't recommend it because I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I'll just need T3 or something, And she says, well, I said, "Aren't you going to give me any medication?" And she said, "No." And I learned how to review the test
Yay.
results after that. And she says, "Well, your T3, your reverse T3 and T4 are perfectly normal. Your TSH is still out of range." But she said, "That's not really that important. If I give you medication, then it's going to mess up all your normal levels of your thyroid." So I have been taking the Guggul pretty basically ever since. I've never gone off of it. I've tried to taper a little bit, and I know that I'm still on the as far as completely healing. I'm trying some other things, but I know it has a powerful impact on your sleep too, because when I cut back on it a little bit, the sleep wasn't as good. So yeah, it's worked great for me. I don't have the cold hands, cold feet. I don't have my temperature's normal, and it's pretty much kept me in balance.
Wow, that's awesome. I actually, after we got your testimonial, I started doing some research and I found a bunch of clinical studies that actually supports the fact that it actually backs up, balances the thyroid levels out. Um, I'm going to put it in a newsletter, but for example, it says Guggul may be useful for the management of hypothyroidism. This clinical study revealed a significant increase in radioactive iodine uptake, T3 resin uptake, protein-bound iodine, and free thyroxine index. And there's like a bunch more clinical studies, which is incredible. So what else are you doing? You said that you're doing a bunch of other things to.
Well, I've learned Shazandra is really important for me.
Uh-huh.
So I take a Shazandra extract. You used to have actually one that I liked, but yeah, I don't know. You don't have that one anymore. And then I do take some black walnut to make sure I get some iodine, but not too much. Because actually, since that point, because I went to a regular doctor a couple years later, and he says, "Well, your TSH is abnormal. You really need to go back on your thyroid medication." And I said, "Well, no, that's not. Well, anyway, so I went ahead, and I felt absolutely horrible for just even the week.
Yeah.
But so I've learned that the TSH is, definitely, like I said, it's from your pituitary. And going by the TSH is definitely not the marker you want to pay attention to.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah,
cool.
so I'm doing great. I have plenty of energy, no fatigue, no sleep problems. I sleep great. Anything that you would normally think is a problem with hypothyroid.
Wow.
Uh, so I'm good.
So it helps our Guggul helps you sleep, and it also balances your thyroid levels out. It seems, it appears.
Yes.
Yeah. As many people know, our Ayurvedic herbs are processed through a machine, I guess, that you could say is we have access to machines that like the pharmaceutical companies have like they use, and it's very potent our medicinal herbs. So it's kind of like pharmaceutical strength. So I would assume that's one of the reasons why it's helping you so much. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then real quickly, I know you're in a rush to get out of here. Just to read the other two clinical studies, it states that Guggul potentially ameliorates, which means kind of like kills hypothyroidism in female mice. It reversed induced hypothyroidism in the mice, showing that it has potential to stimulate thyroid function. And then one more, it shows that Guggul thyroid stimulating action, it brought about an increase in iodine uptake and enhanced activities of thyroid peroxidase and protease, as well as oxygen consumption. And these will all be on our website and newsletter for people to see these clinical studies with links. It's pretty cool.
Yes, very cool. So, eventually, I hope not to have it, but it's great that you do have it, and it is powerful. Because what I thought also was interesting is when you're starting something, it says on there to use what I think it was an eighth of a teaspoon or something,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what I started with.
Yeah, very
And
small amount. That's all you need.
yeah, very small amount, and it was definitely significant for my temperature to increase daily for those 5 days. So
Wow, an eighth of a teaspoon. That's just like a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
powerful. I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to share about any of that or what you do?
Uh, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't think there's anything else. I mean, do you mean just about the Guggul product, right?
Yeah, or anything, I guess. Like what you do, retreat? Did you have a good time?
I had a great time at your retreat. It was a lot of fun. And actually, I met a lot of people that I still communicate with on a regular basis.
Oh,
In
yeah?
fact, one of them, we actually went on a trip together. So it
Wow.
was, yeah, that was great.
That's
So
awesome.
I was going to ask, how can we get the addresses of some of the other ones? Because I, haven't, some of them didn't have their addresses when I left, but yeah, I'd say 5 of them I still communicate with on a regular basis.
Wow.
So
Wow, by email. You're talking about email address,
yes,
right? Yeah.
by email. Actually, I have their phone. I have called a few of them. So yeah,
Yeah. Wow, that is
but
awesome.
if I could make another plug, for my website,
Yeah,
wisdom.
absolutely.
I really am trying to help people to learn how to use homeopathy so that you can cure yourself, and that, of course, is my goal. And of course, the FDA is trying to go through and put through that last draft guidance document. So if I could put a plug in there, we also have a website, homeopathychoice.org. And we're trying to get as many people as possible to put in comments, because our organization, Americans for Homeopathy Choice, actually put in a petition asking the FDA to do certain things so that they don't stop us from using the homeopath or being able to access the homeopathic remedies.
Yeah.
So if we could get anybody to go to that site and make a comment to the FDA, they're supposed to actually respond to each individual comment that someone actually does on their own, and before they can actually put in place the draft guidance document. So we really want to keep our access to homeopathic remedies. They've been really helpful in healing, uprooting diseases, just like the herbs. But these usually uproot it. If you're using the right one, it will get rid of it completely. So homeopathy is a very powerful medicine, and anybody who has questions, they're welcome to contact me, and I'd be happy to give them more information.
Okay, what was your website?
Mine is wisdomwellness.com.
And then the other one, where to write the FDA?
Is homeopathychoice.org.
Perfect. Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Say that, Matt.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Great.
Okay.
So I'm glad that you're doing well and your thyroid is working out well with balancing its levels out.
Yes.
Cool. Any last things you want to share, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I am trying to the TSH that I told you about. I learned from a homeopath who's been doing this for like 30 years that sometimes there are people like maybe me who are T3, reverse T3, T4 are normal, but the TSH is abnormal. So she actually suggests taking a TSH, a homeopathic remedy of TSH. So I'm starting that now. So I'm hoping that actually normalizes the pituitary function. So I'm really excited about seeing results on that.
Wow. I actually stumbled across a clinical study where like a mainstream doctor and is going against natural doctors, fighting about, is TSH the most important thing to look at? Here's all the backup. Da, 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 da. I'll send it to you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'd be great. And I'm glad you're doing better, Matt. You look healthy. You just look a little thinner.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my first appearance since running into a health crisis, so I'm glad to be back, and I'm gaining weight daily, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm on the up and up.
So when's that Guggul going to be back up in?
It's just being cleared by the FDA. By the time this goes out on Tuesday, it should be on our website live.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, send them my way if they have any questions, and I can tell them how to use that Guggul product if they need to.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Gaylene, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, for your time.
You're welcome.
Cool. And this is Matt Monarch, and it seems that our Ayurvedic herb Guggul was very successful in balancing Gaylene's thyroid levels out. So you might want to check it out and at therawfoodworld.com and see if that's something that can work for you. All right. We'll see you next time at the Raw Food World.